Okay. This is
Think before you talk.
right. This is our One World Zohar session every Friday that we do at 12:15 Central Time. We are in volume 1 of the Zohar because there is no particular volume for this week's Parsha, Tavo. We're going to be at verse 233. So what you see in the Zohar, of course, is in volume 1, there's Breshit, but we're in the prologue. And we always go there when there is no specific Zohar portion for the week. And so that's where we're going to be. Let's invite in Chana, because she just joined us. Let's invite in the Rav and Karen, and Michael, Rav Shlag, Rav Brandwein, the Ariya Kodesh, the Ramchal, Rav Tarfon, Rav Mazulai, Rav Menachem Mendel of Teps, Rav Pira Piasetsta, the Baal Shem Tov, One Soul, with Yosef Tzadik and Shechem. As we connect to the Zohar, let's have an expanded, elevated consciousness of connecting to the 99%. Yes, we appear to reside in the 1%, but we are not physical beings about to have a spiritual experience. We're spiritual beings having a physical experience. And so when we connect to the Zohar, this is us connecting to our soul and reconnecting to our spiritual experience, our essence. And so as we connect, let's have in mind that we have the ability to connect to the flawless universe and to channel energy of fulfillment and peace and healing, and whether that's physical healing, emotional healing, financial healing, spiritual healing. Specifically, I'm saying healing out to Bela Malka, Bat Shoshana. We should have in mind everyone else we know who needs healing, that energy that we are about to channel through the Zohar. Let's also connect to the energy of Avat Chinam, unconditional love, and let's throw in unconditional happiness in while we're there. And also the energy of ending the chaos and conflict that we encounter in this world of illusion and the ability to rise above that. Okay, so verse 233. Phyllis, do you want to volunteer to read English for us?
Yep, I do.
Okay. So remember, as I read these words, whether you're connecting visually and or just auditorily to these words, we are channeling energy to the upper world. The Zohar is a connection to the lower Binah, which is an upper realm connection. And have that in mind, and everyone we know who needs fulfillment and healing. Pikuda teshia lemechan lemiskanei ulemehav lon tarpa dichtiv nas adam betzalmenu kidmutenu. Adam b'shutfa kalal b'char v'nukva b'tzalmenu atire kidmutenu miskanei.
The 9th precept is to show mercy to the needy and supply them with food.
Okay, so in this prologue to the Zohar, there's a section, an article called the precepts. I want to say that there are 14 precepts. They're all very interesting and foundational at the same time. And so we're here at the 9th precept. And what is it? It's pretty straightforward. Hey, show mercy to the needy and supply them with food. When you're driving along the road and you see someone asking for food, give them food. Have compassion for them. What more do we need to say about that? It's kind of straight up. Well, again, we're encountering
for me or you
at the physical level. And we're countering at the 1%. And the Zohar is going to assist us in delving more deeply into what is the deeper meaning behind these verses. So, as it often does, it brings a verse from the Holy Writings to assist us in understanding this precept. Go ahead, Phyllis. Phyllis, is Phyllis there? Or does she freeze up? Phyllis may have frozen up.
Looks like she froze up.
Okay. Ron, until she returns, would you read?
What number are we at again?
We're in 230, verse 233. Do you have it handy in volume 1?
Yeah, 230. Oh, 233.
Yes. The 9th precept.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
Oh, wait, Phyllis, wait a second. Phyllis is back. Phyllis, are you there?
I'm back. Yeah, I'm back.
You dropped out.
Sorry.
Okay, keep going, Phyllis, as it is written. Thanks, Ryan.
As it is written, let us make man in our image, after our likeness.
Okay, so that's a verse from,
I don't know why I keep bouncing around. I'm
I know,
sorry.
we're gonna give you, we're gonna give you one more opportunity, and then we're gonna switch, because
That's fine.
anyhow, so what the Zohar is doing is bringing a verse from the creation story. It's the 26th verse of Breshit, of the Torah, of the Bible. And what it says is, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. And now I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, what is the connection between helping the needy and giving them food and the creation story? So the Zohar is going to help us make that connection. Go ahead.
Let us make man is used in the compound sense, indicating that it includes male and female.
Okay, lest you think it was something else. A complete soul is both the male and female side. Now, is this a gender thing going on here? No, this is about energy. And we're going to see, and we see many Zohars. This is about male energy and female energy. And when the Zohar attaches those labels to the energy, what it's telling us is that the upper realm is energy of potential. We refer to that as male. That our realm is the energy of manifestation. We refer to that as female. So we're dealing with two types of energy, male and female. In this context of creation, both halves of that soul make man. So when you see the creation story and you see, let us make man, that is the creator talking about creating a complete soul, manifesting a complete soul with a male side and a female side. Now, the question is, who's he talking to? What do you mean, let us? Sounds like there's a little cohort up there. We're not going to deal with that here. I'm going to leave that open. Just to say that obviously the creator is talking to somebody. Okay, keep going.
In our image refers to the rich. After our likeness refers to the poor.
Okay, so because we have let us make man, we now see that's male and female. We then say after our likeness. So we know that man was created after the likeness of the creator. So what does that mean after the likeness? And if that's the case, then why do we need the further verse in our image? Like this image, really? That big of a difference? Why do we need them both? So there's always saying, well, they're not the same. Likeness means rich. Excuse me, image means rich. Likeness means poor. So is this the story of rich man, poor man? What exactly is going on? So we'll read further and we'll see, but we're drawing a distinction between fulfilled and lack. Rich doesn't mean a big bank account. I mean, it is rich, but rich means fulfillment. Poor doesn't mean a lack of resources. It means feelings of lack. So we have a complete soul, we have fulfillment, and we have lack. And now we start to see the picture developing of what this has to do with helping the needy. But let's delve in a little further. 234. Daha misitra di dechura atire misitra di nukva miskane kamen inu meshutfa chada v'chaz da'avda v'yahev da'alada v'gamele tivu hacha itzrich barnash latata l'meve atira umiskane b'chibura achada l'mehav da'alada l'gam la'a tuva da'alada.
Because from the aspect of the male, they are rich. From the aspect of the female, they are poor.
Okay, again, this isn't a gender thing. This is about energies. And we're talking about energy of potential and energy of manifestation. In our realm, at the realm of manifestation, Malchut, we experience lack. Now, just so we're clear about this, how do we experience something? We come in contact with energy. So the energy of lack is what we feel when we're feeling lack, but we're feeling something, so we have energy. We actually have something. You can call lack all day long, but you're getting energy. It's just not pleasant.
If female is Malchut, then is male Zerampin?
Yes. But just so we understand, lack is a feeling. A feeling is energy. We are feeling an energy that we are calling lack. The energy that we call lack doesn't feel as good as the energy that we call fulfillment. What do you mean? I know what lack feels like. I don't have something. I'm hungry. I lack food. The slice of pizza is there somewhere. Yes, Stacy.
So is lack also desire? I mean, lack sounds like it's from the maybe a little bit more negative, but isn't lack and desire almost the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, well, yes, but maybe they function differently. So what our teachers have explained to us is that our lack helps us grow our desire. And growing our desire helps us grow our vessel. What do I mean by that? Well, we have a capacity for energy. And I guess my example is you have an 8-ounce cup, yet you want to fill it with 12 ounces. Well, good luck, it's an 8-ounce cup. So we have to find some way to expand that vessel, expand that cup to accommodate those additional 4 ounces, to grow from an 8-ounce cup to a 12-ounce cup. If you're an 8-ounce cup, you can desire more all the time, but you have no space for it. So lack assists us in growing our desire. That is another way of saying, Kabbalistically, of expanding our vessel to accommodate the light the Creator is trying to send us. The fulfillment. Why can't you get that fulfillment? Is the Creator picking on you? No. We don't have a capacity. We don't have the capacity. So lack assists us in growing our desire, growing our vessel, so we can accommodate that energy of fulfillment. Does that make sense? Hey, that's great on the chalkboard, right? Or the magic board, whatever they use these days. But like, how does that translate into our life? Oh, that's the challenges that we go through in life. Those challenges are there so we can experience the lack, so we can grow our desire and grow our vessel, and thereby receive the blessings that the Creator wants to share. Remember, the Creator is nothing other, well, than everything, but a being of sharing. You can't share with the Creator. Of course I can. I can say a prayer, I can sing him a song. Sorry, the Creator already has all that. You can't fulfill the Creator. The Creator, by definition, is fulfillment. And the Creator, by definition, is sharing and isn't less than when the Creator shares. Okay, so now we understand what this rich and this poor really means. And by the way, it's like the energy of Gvura, the energy of judgment. Like, that's energy. We want to transform that into energy of mercy, or whatever it is we're working on. In this case, the feelings of lack, we want to change those feelings into, we want to receive. In our mind, I have lack, which is emptiness, and I want fulfillment. But at a much deeper level, it's just energy. I'm experiencing energy of lack, and I want to replace that with energy of fulfillment. That energy of lack is there to help us grow our vessel. Yes, Suzanne.
Okay, so question about energy of judgment. You know, some people are born with right column energy, left column energy. I'm a left column. And I really am not terribly clear on what that means. I mean, I know that I'm here to be challenged and to take my experiences and transform them into mercy, but there's probably another level of this that I don't understand. I think I read something also where it says judgment is wisdom. And I'm kind of confused, so I don't know if you can elaborate on that. What is judgment, that left column, and how is this?
Well, it's a harshness.
I don't know. Help me out.
I mean, So the judgment itself, like all things, like fire is great if you need to heat up some water. Too much fire, and people are getting chased out of their houses in California. So like the question is, do we have it in balance? All things are good unless it's out of balance. So even judgment, to the degree it's discernment, is positive. To the degree we're using it to set up boundaries, it's positive. So it's like all mercy and judgment and balance is fine. The problem is when it's out of balance, when I'm going through life judging everything because there's something amiss. Like I'm living in victim mentality, that I'm not accepting responsibility in my life. That, my ego desires keep throwing me into this mindset of judgment, which stands in the way of my fulfillment. So it's all good. The goal is to create balance. And the goal is to get out of victim consciousness, because when we talk about the journey of your soul came here to elevate. Your soul came here to remove blockages. And one of those blockages might be judgment. And by blockage, I mean you can't fully manifest your soul, and you can't fully manifest your gifts for the world because you're standing in judgment. I mean, just think about someone in your life. Let's make it very practical. Someone in your life who you're just judging. It's really difficult to deal with. They push all your buttons. Of course they do. That's a clue as to what you're supposed to be working on. How do I find more compassion or more balance for someone that pushes my buttons? Now, in some cases, the work might be to create a boundary around that. And in some cases, it might be to understand the reason why I'm judging them is because I exhibit the same things that unnerve me about them are the same things that I unnerve about other people. Like I actually have that. It could be a whole bunch of stuff. But that's why we need to be present to our feelings, to our experience, to where we experience lack, to where we experience blockages, to when we find ourselves in judgment, to when we find ourselves maybe with too much compassion. We need to be present to what's going on in our life. Is that helpful, Suzanne?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, Phyllis, let's continue.
But as they are united as one, show compassion to each other, share with each other, and are benefactors to each other, so should man below behave.
Oh, so now we see the relationship of this unified soul of male and female energy, and this statement in the Bible, in the Torah, that says, in our image and after our likeness. We have the ability to provide that fulfillment. Whatever our gifts are, we're here to share those gifts. Now, I know what you're thinking. I got to write a check to charity. And I'm just going to say that, okay, that's one level of sharing. But I want to talk about a different kind of sharing, which comes up for me. Like I show up in a situation, and the question is, am I showing up as who I am? Am I showing up as a being of understanding, of compassion? Am I showing up with joy, with happiness? If I don't show up with my unconditional happiness in every situation, I'm obviously not sharing. Now, granted, there are times where it's not appropriate, and there are times where I need boundaries, and there are times where people will take advantage of the energy I'm bringing to a situation. Let's put all those aside. I got a problem, and I show up with my problem on full display. That's me showing up without sharing. I'm not sharing. I'm not sharing my gifts. I'm not sharing my energy. Now, we shouldn't be sharing energy with just everybody, but we need to, and what we're getting here, the energy of this section is all about our understanding that we're here to remove our blockages. That is our soul's journey. And we're here to manifest our gifts and also part of our soul's journey. So where are the blockages? And why are we reading this today? Well, as I said at the outset, there is no Zohar for Tavo, but that's not the real reason why I'm reading this today. The real reason is because I just opened up to this. But the real reason is because this is the month of Elul. It's the month of Virgo. We're preparing for the head of the year, Rosh Hashanah. We need to be taking out all the garbage now. We want to start the year with a clean slate. And so what is the energy of Elul? It's the ability to see our limitations. Virgos are great at seeing everyone else's limitations and not seeing their own. So this month provides us with the energy of seeing limitations, but we need to internalize that. We need to be self-introspective and see where it is that I need to be more open. Where are my blockages? Where are my gifts not being manifest in this world? Where do I have the ability to create more fulfillment in the world? For myself, for the world. It's my desire to receive for the sake of sharing. I'm not just doing it for me. I need fulfillment because I need to be able to share more of myself in the world and in the world around me. And that's the opportunity that we have. And ultimately, that's what this section is all about, is understanding we are complete. I'm not complete. What do you mean? You're complete. You just don't feel it because your ego is not letting you see it. Because the other side is bombarding you with negative thoughts. Because the other side is telling you you can't do it and you're not entitled to it. And you don't have the skill set. And it's beyond your grasp. And you need to get angry now. And you need to be frustrated. Otherwise, why is that? Oh my God, I can't believe that happened to me. And fall into victim consciousness. And see how it's working out for everybody else on social media. What was it like before social media? Did we know how much better everyone else had it? I mean, these are the things that are happening to trigger us in all the ways that the ego wants to drive a wedge between us and our soul. Again, the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. If we want to have a better year, we need to find a different way to do things. We need to show up as vulnerable. We need to see where we're not being vulnerable. Where am I just being too careful and too protective of myself? Change your place, change your destiny. Change your mindset, change your life. Change your life, change the world. Really? I changed myself, I changed the world? Yes. When you're more compassionate, the world is more compassionate. Dave, is that really measurable, 8 million people? This is not a quantifiable. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. Show up as more compassionate, the world's more compassionate. Show up as more understanding, the world is more understanding. Show up as more loving, there's more love in the world. Change yourself, literally change the world. Okay, 235.
We have one more sentence in English.
Okay, let's not miss that. Yeah, thanks.
The rich and the poor should be united together as one and should share with each other and be benefactors to each other.
As by design. That's our work. Because again, we see a world of fragmentation. You mean it's not? Yeah, it's not. What about cell differentiation? That is fragmentation. It literally takes place. 1 cell, 2 cells, self-fragmentation takes place. Cell differentiation takes place. 1 cell becomes a tooth, the other cell becomes an ear. So it is fragmented, isn't it? No, that's an illusion. Yes, Stacy.
So the rich and the poor is really referring to our potential inner manifestation should be united together.
That's correct.
So it's everything internal to
right?
us.
The contrast is amazing. We start off in the first paragraph with this idea of showing mercy to the needy, and then it's let us create man. It's like, what? And that is like seed level purpose here. That's what the Zohar is. Listen, we're always talking about get to the seed level. Go to the internal energy. Ignore the wrapping. Ignore the book cover. It's the internal energy that matters. It's the seed level that matters. And so the Zohar essentially is taking us back to seed level. Well, It's Elul. It's Virgo. What's Virgo? The Virgin. Perfection. That's what we're working on this month. So we can change it up and reconnect. Like every situation in the prayers that we connect with during Slichot, which, you know, many say during the whole month of Virgo, every night after midnight. And in Ashkenazic circles, they will say it tomorrow night after midnight. They start the week before Rosh Hashanah, the Saturday night. Doesn't matter. That Slichot, those prayers are infused with the energy of removing our blockages and removing our negativity. So we start with a clean slate. And one of the patterns that repeats in Slichot and in the prayers that show up on the high holidays are alphabetized prayers. I used to think when I'd see the alphabetized, how cool, whoever wrote that, like, hey, they tried to do it in alphabetical order. So cutesy, so poetic, so nice. Oh my God, what a marginalization of reality. What, I don't like poetry? No, it's not a matter of that. When things are written in alphabetical order, it's the energy of order. Those 22 letters, when they show up in order, Aleph, Bet, Gimel, etc., the ABCs, that's essentially the genetic code of reality. That is order. We experience chaos that's out of order. We're here to manifest the energy of order, of blessings. Plant a seed, you grow a tree, and healthy fruit. No chaos. That's the energy that we're connecting to. In Slichot, on Rosh Hashanah, on Yom Kippur, there's plenty of opportunities all year long to inject order, but no better opportunity than now. Because we're approaching seed level of reality, or at least our reality. Any questions about that? Okay. Are we ready for 235? We finished English, right?
Yep.
Good.
Yep. Move on.
Okay. Vayirdu bidgat hayam gomer raza denachamenan besiv shlomo malka v'choman dechas al miskanei birota deliba v'la mishtane diokne la ala mi diokna da adam harishon v'cheven diokna da adam itrishim be shalit al kol briyan alma behau diokna haruti umorachem v'chitchem ye'al kol chayat haaretz v'gomer kulo zayin the dachalin mehau diokna ditrishim be begin the dahu pikuda me'al yad listalaka banash bediyukne the adam al kol sha'ar pikudim.
And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea.
Does that make what all of a sudden we're talking about the fish? Where does that come from? That's the continuation of the verse that we read in the first paragraph in Breshit, creation, the 26th verse. What does fish have to do? Are we going to the aquarium here? Yes, Stacy.
So in this context, are fish also a reference to elevated souls? Because of like in Shabbat,
Right, because we know we know that fish are elevated, like they don't have the capacity to take on negativity.
Right.
So let's read on and see. This is more of a reference. I'm sure there's that, but as it turns out, there's more of a reference here to the relationship between Adam Harishon, the first man, and the beasts of the field, all other life forms. Let's see. Okay, Phyllis.
We have seen the secret in the book of King Solomon, where it says
I'm not
that
sure what book that is. It could be Ecclesiastes, he wrote that. Could be Song of Songs. Go ahead.
where it says that if a person has pity on the poor from all his heart, his image shall not be changed and shall remain forever as that of the first man.
So this is next level. We have creation. We have this idea of feeding the needy, of feeding the poor. We have this idea of being created in the image, in the likeness. We get in this understanding about this is about us sharing our fulfillment with the world around us. It's being beings of sharing. It's receiving for the sake of sharing. We have all that. That's amazing in and of itself. And now we go next level, because where we have pity on the poor from all our heart, our image shall not change. In other words, our natural state of affairs is the image of Adam, the first soul, the complete male-female soul, the completeness of the yin and yang of fulfillment and lack. There's no lack, there's fulfillment there. And so when we show up in life with this consciousness, we now are returning to the first soul, Adam. And what does that mean?
As a result of having the mark of the image of Adam, he therefore shall rule over all creatures on earth by that image.
So
And
all of a sudden we get this idea that when we elevate to that extent, the world is different. The world is different. Our world is different. Yes, Stacey.
So just to go back to 233, it says, let us make man in our image, which is the richness that you were talking about. So when he's talking about like he shall rule over all the creatures on earth by that image, it's the image of the creator.
Yes,
Yes.
which Adam had, because he was the first one created in that image. You mean we're not created in that image? Well, to the degree we walk around with a lack of compassion as defined here for the needy, we're disconnected from the light. We are no longer in image. We're in likeness. Because it's not about being monetarily poor, it's about being spiritually poor. You know, this is Kabbalah 1. This is the bread and butter of Kabbalah. When I am sharing, when I emulate the features of the light, and I'm a being of sharing, I'm connected to the light. When I'm not emulating the features of the creator, when I'm not a sharing being, I'm disconnected from the light. So how do we connect to the light? We need to show up as beings of sharing. And when we do, with the right consciousness, we're just like Adam, created in the likeness. And that means we rule over other creatures. We rule over other, it sounds like such a hierarchical, like Dark Ages structure. I can't mean that. Yes, Stacey.
So in the earlier sentences where it says that if a person has pity on the poor from all of his heart, so in this realm, like, so if I have self-pity, like in all of my heart, my ego is dominating and saying, oh, poor Stacy, right? Then like and I'm not in the image of the creator because of all of this negative content.
Yes.
I mean, that's kind of like how the analogy of how to look at all of this?
I mean, think about it for a second. Poor Stacy, poor becomes an adjective at that point, right? It's like we're saying poor Stacy. You literally have said poor Stacy.
Yeah.
Where? No, but like that is a consciousness of lack. What do you mean? I really am having a hard time though. No, you're not. You're getting energy of lack to build your vessel so you can receive the blessings of fulfillment. Yeah, but I don't see that. That's what you got to work on. Yeah, but it's so hot, it's tough, it's so harsh. Yeah, I know, that's what that energy of lack feels like. It's energy. You're actually getting something. It's not like you took your cup to the fountain and nothing's coming out. It's just bitter.
Bitter, did you say?
It's bitter. You know, when you go to the fountain and like you hit the Coca-Cola thing and the Coke fills up. For those who drink pop, I don't really, but you know, it's a mix of like the seltzer and the Coke syrup, you know, sprays into your cup. Well, sometimes when they run out of the Coke, it's just seltzer. I mean, you can like seltzer, but it's not the sweetness of cola. So you're getting something, you're getting harshness. What does it mean when someone shows up with harshness? There's a lack. They're in pain. They're in pain. Let's not judge them. I don't want that pain. I got my own pain. I may have to create boundaries, but I don't want to judge them. They're in lack. They're in pain. They don't see their way out of it yet. With the light's help, hopefully they will. And you've heard me say this before. It's a line I picked up in the past month or so. When you see someone acting poorly, our natural inclination is to say, what's the matter with him? The more enlightened perspective is, what happened to him? Obviously, something happened. And they're showing up, not sharing their unconditional happiness, their positivity. It's blocked by some kind of blockage, some kind of trauma, some kind of experience. It's like every harsh person you meet, they're blocked. That's not them. What do you mean? That's what I'm encountering. Yeah, I get that. But at a spiritual level, that's not them. That's not their soul. That is their ego protecting them. Why are they showing up harsh? Protection. If I show up harsh, no one can hurt me. That's why people show up in a harsh way. Okay, keep going, Chris.
As it is written, and the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast.
Whoa, that jumps from the first chapter of Breshit to the 9th chapter. And we're talking about how will the beasts of the field view this completed soul of Adam? Well, the English is dread, but it's like, no one's messing with Adam. I mean, you know, people who, like, to the degree that we show up in a situation with a balanced energy, no one wants to mess with us. Even the bully is targeting the most vulnerable in the group, as do the beasts of the field. They don't target the strongest animals, they target the weakest. It's just nature. But when we are fully connected to the image, because why? Because we walk around carrying a big stick and screaming at people and, you know, showing up just like trying to take charge? No, we show up with an open heart and boundaries, of course, but we show up with an open heart and compassion and understanding for the garbage people are carrying around with them. Okay, keep going.
All have fear of that image and dread the image marked on him, because this precept to show mercy to the poor and be kind with them is the most praised precept.
The most praised precept. Show up with compassion. Don't show up with your mind turned off. Show up present to what's going on and to share where sharing is appropriate. And don't let your issues get in the way. I mean, it's easy to say, but this is the work we need to do. This is why your soul is here. Go ahead.
It is above all the others, because by this precept, the Son of Man is able to elevate himself by the image of Adam.
And it's not, yes, we're able to elevate ourselves to the image of Adam, the image in which all were created, the image of the Creator. That is us showing up as beings of, just like the Creator, of unconditional love and unconditional sharing and unconditional happiness, all these things that we possess that are meant to be shared with the world. More compassion, a more compassionate world. You show up with more happiness, it's a happier world. You show up with more love, it is a more loving world. And then we don't have to worry about the chaos that's out there, because the path, we are protected on that path. And as you've heard me say before, in the standing prayer, the Amidah, we say it 3 times a day. Oh, on Shabbat, we say it 4 times. The first blessing is Magen Abraham, the shield of Abraham. What's the shield of Abraham? I know the shield of the Magen David, the Jewish star, the Star of David, the shield of David. There's a whole other conversation. What's the shield of Abraham? How do I find that in the jewelry store? Where is the shield of Abraham? It's not in the same section as the Jewish star. So where is it? The shield of Abraham. Abraham is the Merkab, the channel, the chariot for mercy. When we show up as merciful, we are protected. Yes, Stacy, final word.
I was going to say mercy. The
Okay.
shield of Abraham is mercy. So
Exactly. All right, cool. Great.
you explained it better.
Everybody, thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom. Love you all. Have a
Shabbat shalom.
Thank
great,
you.
great week. Thank you, guys.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you, David.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you.
Glad to be back.